In this slightly longer form video, I'm going to look at low back care and the recovery from an acute injury. And as always, thanks for coming out. So pain is multifactorial, but sometimes it can be simple. If we've just done something that overexerted ourselves and we now have pain, our recovery can be simple and straightforward. Often to start, just having rest for a few days is a great place to start. It's okay resting an ankle. It's okay to rest the low back. And it's even okay to avoid certain movements. Sometimes bending forward can hurt. So what you might have to do is adapt how you do this. The key is that this adaptation doesn't last forever. It's a short-term fix. So here we're just, again, it's often just a discrepancy in how much we've done and how much our body was able to tolerate. This leads us with pain in our back. So we've rested for a few days. We've adapted how we move. Now it's okay to start moving. Okay? We start with simple patterns. It can be on our knees. You may find that bending back or bending forward is more comfortable. I often encourage people to pick the one that feels the best. Start with simple. Start with what feels good. You can make things more challenging or more interesting. And again, this is where you have to be okay experimenting a little bit. You have to figure out what activity your body is ready for. It's usually okay to have some discomfort with this. 3 out of 10 or below is a simple guideline. We don't want to ignore our pain, but we also don't want to blast through it. If you find that kneeling exercises are difficult, you may choose to do standing exercises. And if you're struggling in this part, this is where a physio can help with the activity modification. We can help identify areas that will get you moving. As you start to feel better, you start to challenge yourself and do things that are more difficult. Here I'm starting to bend my back a little bit. I'm still protecting it, maybe a touch, and now I'm just letting it fold forward. So when we test these things each day, and it's okay if it takes a little bit of time, but just keep moving, keep testing yourself. And as you start to feel better, it's a good opportunity to test yourself a little bit. Challenge your back. Challenge the muscles around the ribs, around your core. Now we do core exercises not because our core is weak, but we want to promote healing in that area if there has been a strain. And the exercises we choose should be ones we'll actually do. There's no one perfect exercise. Okay? We might vary them a little bit depending on how we hurt it or where we're hurting. But for the most part, we just want to start moving. Incorporate a variety of exercises. So far I've done some planking, I've done some rolling or curling, I've done some pushing, I've done some movements side to side. Now again, some of these exercises might not be great in your case, so that's why experimentation is important and potentially talking with a professional to make sure your recovery is facilitated and going well. If you're keen, you can start lifting weights. Strength has been shown to be protective. With that being said, though, it's not for everyone. Get back to Zumba, get back to a sport you enjoy. An injury can be a good springboard to start exercising more. So what I'm showing here is that we can progress from exercises in the ground, exercises without weights, exercises with weights. We can start to challenge our balance. We can do things on one side or both. The variety can help us through the healing process. It keeps things interesting for our body. And we hope in the long term by doing things that are different and variable, we might protect ourselves against re-injury. So these are definitely more challenging exercises. Now I'm doing a deadlift with weights. So if we hurt our back, from bending forward and lifting too much, we absolutely want to challenge that process again. So again, there's lots of things to work on. What's so important is doing things gradually, sticking with a plan. And if you need help, just go find a good physio that's going to guide that plan and facilitate your recovery. Remember, the body wants to heal, so let it do its job. Thanks for watching. I hope this gives you some guidance.